Okay, so this is product rule because there's a product between two functions. And actually, since this is a radical, I'm going to rewrite the problem. 3x to the sixth, x cubed minus 3x to the 1/2. So now you can clearly see there's a product. So this is product rule. So what's the derivative? Well, remember product rule says it's the derivative of the first times the second plus the first times the derivative of the second Well, the derivative of the first is just 18x to the fifth. And I don't need to do anything with the second guy. Plus, this says don't do anything with him, but take the derivative here. The derivative here is chain rule. So it's 1/2 times the blob, and it's going to be 1/2 minus 1 to the negative 1/2 times the derivative of the blob. So this is just x cubed minus 3x. Now continuing on, I don't need to do any more with this, so there's nothing there. I don't need to do anything with this or with this. But then it says take the derivative of this guy. So this is 3x squared minus 3. And then there you are. That's your answer. This one is also product rule because I've got the product of this set of parentheses times the natural log. So f prime. So again, this is product rule. So I don't need to rewrite. So the derivative of the first times the second plus the first times the derivative of the second. So I've got dx's, so the derivative of the first is negative 6x. That's power rule. And I don't do anything with the natural log. And then this becomes a negative 3x squared. Now, what's the derivative of the natural log? 1 over the blob times the derivative of the blob. Which is negative 6x. I don't see any dx's there, so I just continue on. Now, plus and a minus is a minus. 1 over the blob times the derivative of the blob, which is just 4x. Now, I can either do this using quotient rule or I can do this using product rule. If I move the square root up, I don't know which is going to be easier. I'm just going to leave well enough alone. So this is x squared minus x over x minus 2 to the 1/2. No e's and no logs. So this is just straight old-fashioned quotient rule. So f prime, bring the denominator up, times the derivative of the numerator minus the numerator times the derivative of the denominator all over. And I think I'm going to need more room for this problem. The denominator squared. Excuse me. Now, so this becomes x minus 2 to the 1/2 times the derivative of x squared minus x. That's just 2x minus 1 minus x squared minus x times the derivative of this guy. This is chain rule. So it's 1/2 times the blob to the subtract 1, negative 1/2. And I'm not going to put the notation in because the derivative of the blob is just 1. Because I don't have the space. So 2 times 1/2 is just 1. And that's where you are. That's it. This is definitely quotient rule. And I can't rewrite anything. So what's f prime? Bring the denominator up times the derivative of the numerator minus the numerator times the derivative of the denominator all over the denominator squared. Okay, so now we have to follow it through. And over the denominator to the 4th, that's the easy part, I have x squared plus x squared, derivative of the natural log of x to the 6 plus 7. It's 1 over the blob times the derivative of the blob minus the natural log of x to the 6th minus 7. Now this is just regular old chain rule because there's no logs and no e's. So this is going to be 2 times the blob to the 1 times the derivative of the blob So I got dx's, so that means I'm not done. So this is x squared plus x squared times 1 over x to the 6th minus 7 times, what's the derivative of x to the 6th minus 7? 6x to the 5th, and the derivative of minus 7 is just 0. The natural log of x to the 6th minus 7 times 2. What's the blob? Well, it's x squared plus x times, now I got the dx, derivative is 2x plus 1. And then that's the answer to that guy.